Hello, welcome and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be showing you guys how to crochet a bra top with scallops. So for this project I'm going to be using a 4mm hook crochet pin, and I'm going to be mixing these two colors together. So yeah, let's get straight into the video. So the first thing you have to do is to make a slip knot. After you make a slip knot, you chain a chain that would be enough for you to make the size of bra top you would want to make. The more the chains, the bigger the size of the bra top. And to get the size of bra top you want to make for yourself, what you have to do is put the end of the chain under your boobs to your nipple. That's how you get the size of the bra top you would want to make for your own self. So after making the desired amount of chains you would want to make, what you have to do next is to go back into every single stitch all the way through the row or through the chains. Getting towards the end of the row. Always make sure to make the last stitch at the very end of the row, at the very end of every row. So this is how your work should be right now. So what next you do is to chain one and you turn your work. Put in your stitch at the very beginning of the row after you turn your work. And making this stitch at the beginning and at the end of every row is very necessary because you don't want your cup to come out all curvy and all. You need the end of your cup to be straight. So you have to always put the last stitches. And this is what we would be doing till we get to the middle stitch right there. Getting towards the middle stitch. So this is the middle stitch right here, and what we have to be doing is to make 3 single crochet into that middle stitch. And this is basically how the shape of the cup would come out from. That's the triangle look we are expecting to see. So this right here is the middle stitch or middle chain. So that is where we would be putting our stitch marker, and the need of the stitch marker is to enable you to be able to identify which is the middle stitch. So when you get to that point, you won't get confused. So you always have to make sure you have your stitch marker at the middle stitch. So we just continue all the way to the end with a single crochet as we have been doing. So getting towards the end of the row, remember to put your last stitch at the very end of the row. This is how your work should be right now. Then you chain one and you turn your work, making your first stitch at the very beginning of the row after you turn your work, which is right there. And that is what we would be doing till we get to the middle stitch. And now we are a stitch away from the middle stitch. I know this looks like the middle stitch, but it's this one. So that is why you should always have your stitch marker with you. So now you take your stitch marker off and place 3 single crochet into the middle stitch. And get your stitch marker back and put it at the middle stitch. So this is how your work should be right now. So we just continue with a single crochet all through till we get to the end of the row. At the end of the row, you place your last stitch at the very end of the row. So at this point, we will be adding our other yarn, the white color yarn. And this is how to add the color, the other yarn. So you just use the tail of the yarn to hold the work and chain one with the white yarn and tighten it, but not too tight, and then you turn your work. Then you go into the very stitch there with a single crochet. You have to pull the tails of the other yarn you worked with previously to tighten them, and also you have to crochet with the tail of the yarn so you secure it properly. And after you must have secured the extra yarn properly, you can go ahead and cut it off. And then you continue crocheting normally. And that's what we will be doing till we get to the middle stitch again. At the middle stitch, you'll go ahead and take off your stitch marker and place 3 single crochet at the very middle stitch. And then you place your stitch marker back into the middle stitch. And we just continue going all the way till the end of the row. So at the end of the row, you place your last stitch at the end of the row, and then you bring back the brown color. Holding it with the work and chaining one with it, and then turn your work. Putting your first stitch at the beginning of the row after you turn your work. Pulling the yarns to tighten it. And then crocheting over the previous yarn. Now we cut off the other yarn after we've secured it enough. At the middle stitch, you take off your stitch marker and place 3 single crochet into the middle stitch. last stitch at the end of the row. This is it. And then you chain one and you turn your work. This is how your work should be right now. And this is what you would be doing till you have the size of the cup you would want. So we'll just go ahead with the same method I've been teaching till you get the 2 cups, and you just go 2 rows with the brown and a row with the white. And I would be doing this till I get my 2 cups, till I'm done with the 2 cups. So here I'm done with my cup, and I also made my other cup too. So you should have these 2 cups with you already. And now it's time for us to do the other part of the bratop, that is the side going toward your back, and then your hand, and then the body of the bratop. And for the part going towards your back area, you make chain so you get the size enough to go through the side of your back, through the side of your body, or the side of your back. And so I think I did up to 14 chains. So what next you do is to go back through the chains. You go back through the chains till you get to the end. So at the end of the chains, it is now time for us to make our scallops. That is the part going through to the hand. So to make these scallops, you skip the first stitch and go into the second one with a double crochet. So you create 4 double crochet into that same stitch. And there you have yourself a scallop. Then you skip the next 2 stitches and then you slip stitch into the third one. And then you continue by skipping the next one, going into the other one, making 4 double crochet. And there you have it, 2 scallops. Then you continue by skipping 2 and then slip stitching into the third one, and then skipping the next one and putting 4 double crochet into the following one. And that is what we would be doing till we get to the top of the bratop. So at the top of the bratop, we just finished the slip stitch. We skipped the first one and then go into the next one, making 4 double crochet. But this time we're at the top of the bratop, so we want to make half here and then half here. So instead of going 4, we make just 3. And then we slip stitch into the stitch before the middle stitch right there. That is where we are going to make a slip stitch. So that is it. And now we would be making the strips for the hand. You can go ahead and make over 150 chains. So just go ahead and make your chains. I will be getting back to the middle stitch here. So this is how the box should be now. Here are the scallops. So just go ahead and go all the way and then all the way backward till we get to the middle stitch here. So being done with the strips, now we make a slip stitch into the chain, this stitch before the middle stitch, and then we skip the middle stitch and go into the next one, making 2 double crochet into that stitch. Instead of 4 double crochet, we make 2 double crochet. And then we skip the next 2 and make a slip stitch into the third one. And there, this is how your work should be after coming back. And that is what we will be doing till we get to the end of the row. At the end of the row, we would normally make a slip stitch into the third one, but at this point we attach the 2 sides of the cup together. So after figuring out which side it is different from the back, or which 2 sides look similar, we attach it together. So we have to attach these 2 sides together. What you need to do is to place your hook at the end of the work and pull with the yarn of the other one through the hook. and then you just go back through, placing the hook at the end of the other one, and then pulling the yarn through it. And there, just like that, you've attached the two of the parts together. So to continue your work, you slip stitch into the third stitch there, and then you also slip stitch into the next stitch. Now you skip the first one and then go into the second one, making 4 double crochet into the same stitch. So that is how you have your work. Then slip stitch into the third stitch, skip the next one, and then go into the following one, making 4 double crochet into that same stitch. Then slip stitch into the third stitch. So this is how your work should be right now. So using the same method, you continue your work, going all the way, making the hand and then getting back until we get to this point. So after that, after going all through the hand and getting to this point, we slip stitch into the last stitch there, that is the third stitch, and then chaining, and then making chains for the side of our body towards the back area. Making the same amount of chain as you made at the other side. After that, you go back into every stitch. So after going through the chains, you make single crochet across the bottom of the cups. That is what we'll be doing till we get to this point. So you make single crochet all the way. So after going all the way through the bottom of the cups, you make a single crochet as you would normally do through that part till you get to the end of the row. So now at the end of the row, make sure to make your last stitch at the very end of the row. And then you chain one and you turn your row, putting a stitch at the very first stitch after you turn your row. And then from this point we would be making the spaces where the strips of the bratop would be going through. So what we need to do is to skip the next one and then make a double crochet into the next one. So basically from this point through the body we'll be going in with double crochet. So this is the space where the strip of the hand will be going to. So we continue crocheting. Normally we a double crochet all the way through till we get to the end of the row. Now at the end of the row we have to make the space. We skip the next one and go into the last stitch with a double crochet, and there you have your space. At this point we'll be changing the color, so you chain one with the white yarn and you turn your work. And then going into the very first stitch after you turn your work, and then continue crocheting normally as you would normally do. After crocheting with the remaining parts of the yarn until you've secured it enough, and you go ahead and cut it off. And then that's what we'll be doing till we get to the end of that row. So at the end of the row we just go normal without creating any chain space. So now we will be changing our color back to brown. And then we will not be making a space, we just crochet through as we would normally do. So that is it. That is what we would be doing till we are done with the bratop. Using the same method as this, we go 2 rows with the brown and a single row with the white, creating a chain space at the end of the second row with the brown. So that is what I'm going to be doing till I am done with this part of the bratop. So just go ahead and do that, and I will see you guys when I'm done with that. So getting towards the end, I'll make my last stitch at the end of that row. And then I'll chain 1 and cut off my yarn. So guys, we have come to the end of this project. So at this point you just go ahead and cut off all the extra yarns you have lying about. So for the ending of the bratop, to secure the yarn before you cut it, you just put the end of the yarn through the stitches till you are sure you've secured it enough. Now you go ahead and tie it, and then you cut it off. So go ahead and cut off the rest of the yarns. So now we are done with the bratop, and this is how it should be. These are the scallops, and now you can go ahead and put this through the back. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. This is actually my first video, and I'll be posting more videos like this on how to crochet. Hope this video was easy to learn with, and please leave a like, share, comment and subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and I will see you guys in my next video.